Hey guys, so last night on Dynamite was, well, many would consider it one of the better shows they've done in quite some time, almost pay-per-view quality. I mean, people praise it because, on that level I should say, because of the fact that you start off with CM Punk versus Penta Alsquero, Pentagon Jr., and then you close it with a main event of Samoa Joe winning the Ring of Honor World Television title from Minoru Suzuki in what many would consider a New Japan Strong Style match. And then along with all the other matches and segments in between, with a few hiccups here and there, like the AEW Dynamite debut of Maria Shafir, Roderick Strong's, I guess, wife, fiance, which, her match with Sky Blue, some pretty much felt that it could have, used maybe, I guess, an appearance or at least a try on like Dark or Dark Elevation. In other words, even though it allowed Maria Shafir to go 4-0, it wasn't her best outing for herself, Sky Blue, or the women's division. Now, with that said, unfortunately, despite the fact that it was a good show, almost pay-per-view quality, the one thing that everybody has said that people are going to be talking about is the ending. And the ending after Samoa Joe won the ROH World Television title. And the reason people are talking about the ending is because of the fact that Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt came out afterwards and said they had a present for Joe. And when they opened the gift box, all it revealed was Jay Lethal's hand giving Joe the middle finger. And then that's when the lights went out. Now normally, when AEW or a company like them does a lights out deal, that means we're going to get a debut of somebody we've been expecting, or somebody we would love to see in a place like All Elite Wrestling. And obviously a lot of names were going through people's heads when that happened, like, oh, is this Cesaro? Or is this Bray Wyatt? Or who could this be? Could it be this person? Could it be that person? Could it be Jonathan Gresham? Could it be this? Could it be that? Nope, it was none of them. Because when the lights came on, in the ring behind Joe stood a 7'3", near 400-pound Punjabi giant. And no, we're not talking the Great Khali, we're talking Satnam Singh. Now, Satnam Singh had been signed to Ring of Honor back in September and had been training at the Nightmare Factory, or the now AEW training facility in Atlanta. And basically, I guess Tony Kahn felt that the time was right to bring Satnam Singh on board. Or was it Tony Khan's call? Was it his call? You see, that's the question. That's the question some people are wondering. Was it Tony Khan's call for Satnam Singh to debut after the main event? When the lights went off and then when they went back on, was that Tony Khan's plan? And at first, some would assume it was, and Tony Khan got a lot of backlash for it. But apparently, as more news has come out, thanks to various sources, like Fightful, like Sean Ross Sapp, like Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer, if you would believe a word Dave says, and Mike Johnson, many others, and probably more to come, the reason Satnam Singh debuted last night on Dynamite wasn't because Tony Khan had planned it that way. No. Apparently, this was all part of or at least in relation part, if you will, on the relation part to the new Warner Brothers Discovery merger, which became final recently over this past week. Because in case nobody knows, Discovery bought Warner Brothers, and it just got finalized this past week that Discovery now is the bosses. That basically the CEO of Discovery is now the CEO of the whole shebang of what is now known as Warner Brothers Discovery. And apparently Satnam Singh debuting last night when he did was part of that deal, or at least part in relation to that deal, that merger that became final. And not only that, it's because AEW is trying to grow the India fan base, or the fan base in India, because AEW airs on EuroSports India. And I guess maybe because Discovery Media has a stake in EuroSports India, or has, I guess, some kind of love for India, period, for the India people, that again, this has to probably do with why Satnam Singh debuted, when he did. Now, was everybody a fan of this debut? No. A lot of people felt this was, basically AEW doing WWE, and they shouldn't be doing that, and that is true. I mean, if you're going to, create your own promotion, try to make yourself an alternative to where you're different from everybody else, then yeah, bringing in someone like a Satnam Singh, which people considered as Great Khali Jr. or Great Value Great Khali, or Little Khali, whatever you want to call him, bringing him in is probably not the best move to go with. It isn't. Now, some people have tried to defend this and said, well, look at the librarians. Nobody liked them, and over time they disbanded, dispersed. They disbanded, they dispersed. And that was it. We didn't see them after a while. Let's take a look at the Nightmare Family, or the Nightmare Factor. Well, not the Nightmare Family, but the Nightmare Collective. Let's look at them. Everybody thought that was dumb. And guess what? After letting it be known for quite a while, we didn't see the Nightmare Collective ever. Ever again, I should say. But this could be something different, because it's not Tony Kahn, obviously, that's at fault for making the call to make this happen. He's only doing this at the behest of the fact that the company that his promotion is airing on, basically Warner Media and their networks, the Turner networks, he's doing this to appease them. He's doing this to make them happy so that they don't decide to probably, in my opinion, yank AEW off the programming schedule. That's just an opinion. But, besides whatever we could guess and theorize, this is just one decision nobody really liked. And we'll just have to see what they do. We'll just have to see what happens next. But what are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments, and I am out.